everyone looked at the bar then to be like, am I going to come from behind the bar? Not this time. It's been ages since I've been back to the Green Note, actually. I stopped working here in August, and I'm very glad to be invited back to be on the stage, which is really fun. So, how's everyone doing? You all right? Cool. I'm going to do 3 poems for you. The theme in the dark I found a little bit hard because I think I tend to write quite joyful pieces, so I'm gonna go with the dark theme, because that's what I've been asked to do. For the first one, I'm going to take you to the Isles of Scilly, which is where I grew up. For those of you who don't know, it's a small archipelago of islands 28 miles off the coast of southwest Cornwall, and it's very, very small. And there we have a lot of underage drinking. And with that comes some issues. But this poem is written in response to a true event, actually, so it's based on that. And I've not performed it live before, so we'll see how it goes. It is called Ben. On the island, everyone knows your name. Your mother. Which side street Ben drunkenly pissed down. Whose headlights caught him mooning to the black sky. He cycles through blind for lack of street lights and switched on lamps in houses that are not homes but second properties empty. When his pockets are full of cider, sand and fennel tops, he pulls from the side of the path, searching for something. The island has its own species of shrew, ant and bee. Years ago, Ben ran from the hive, cushioned into the eaten-out corner of the old council house where he used to live. On the island, the water is crystal, yet some boys can't see through booze-infused laughter, those bad and joyful choices, like staggering to their boats, hoping the outboard motor might vibrate feeling into their bodies. Is it still drunk driving in a boat? Most times the boys are lucky. The sea carries them home the way you push a toy across bathwater, making the engine sound with your mouth. In his room one night, Ben wakes from snoring. He searches for a glass of water, his throat sucked dry from the hours before. He sways towards the stairs. The island is a safe place. Everyone knows your name. Ben's mother, Avril, hears a thud. The neighbours too. The island is still, peaceful, this thud stunning the gulls from their beds, as Ben falls all the way down. And Avril in her pyjamas finds Ben cold like something fished, ale still on his breath, blood on the corner of the hallway cabinet. In the pub after the funeral, his friends raise glasses until it doesn't hurt. Thank you. God, thank you so much. It was deadly silence, so it's really lovely to have that reception. So thank you very much. The next one is very different. It's about sort of being in love with someone who's got a boyfriend and being on the fringes of a relationship, and it's a little bit of a fantasy poem. Yeah, thank you. It's called She Will Need a Stable Boy. She will need a stable boy to live in the outhouse on the land her boyfriend will buy with inheritance money, and he will call it theirs. She will be its biggest asset, bigger than the stone walls, wood burner, mushrooms on trees in the woods behind the house. She all soil-fingered, small of her back curved like the underside of a mussel shell, with great interior design taste. There will be rooms used only for drying flowers, and he will make food only delicate, gentle people can make. With beetroot from the garden, he unearths, tenderly pulling from the world. And from the stable, next to the horse, I will watch the autumn sky trickle dark, my left hand on the oily back of the horse, his left hand throwing another log on the fire, some obscure record playing. And I will stay a good boy until the flames spit to ember. The deep hot outbreath from the horse's nose, my own record playing. I can almost hear him say goodnight. I can almost feel her hand on the door handle. The sharp in-breath she takes when the night air touches her skin. As she steps, she is stepping towards the stable. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I'm going to end on the poem that I wrote in response to this theme. So I challenged myself to write a new thing, and I haven't written anything new for ages, it felt like, and I'm actually really happy with this. So thank you for the prompt. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to a queer night at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern, and it's a very small venue, and they only have two or three cubicles, and it was packed. And so I went to the urinals, which lots of people were doing, because they were giving out these like cardboard tubes that you can pee in. You know, like a shiwi, but they're being very inclusive, so they're not calling them shiwis anymore. They're calling them like pee pals or something, something weird. So this is kind of based on that experience. Urinals in the club. We there. Shoulders and flies opening to make believe. Like lost boys scooping air and calling it cake. Ripping chicken leg air with their teeth. It took me time to know the feelings I have for boys on bikes with their tops off, sun slapping their chests, was different from other girls. The mask next to me says, "Think of Niagara Falls," in a newly testosterone voice. Innocent cadence yo-yoing from the walls. The only water I think of, the sea. In my head, it's way too special to be piss. My legs hover over the urinal. I was never comparing myself to other girls because I wasn't one, not because of confidence. I jut out my jaw in the mirror daily and study the shapes boys make in a room. In the club, the drag king is pulling spaghetti from his crotch. I clutch the cardboard tube to mine. Think of the lost boy's magic. Relieve myself. If the hand is no longer a hand when it takes hold of the hammer, then my pussy is no longer.